this is a 5-minute treatment sequence for the forearm and hand. You can see here that I'm starting with a bit of a pin and stretch, pinning at the lateral epicondyle and supinating the forearm. And I keep that up for a little bit, getting trigger points out, getting tension out. The sequence is a little bit sped up, and you can really extend this if you want to repeat the techniques over again. Right now I'm stripping slowly through the forearm extensors, heading in a distal direction. I often will move distally here before I start distally and move proximally, and that's by design. I feel like the muscles are a little bit more forgiving in this direction. The only reason I wouldn't do it like this is if the person had swelling in their arm or hand. Obviously then we're moving fluid back towards the heart, but in this case I'm just stripping with moderate to deep pressure through the forearm extensors all the way down to the wrist. And here I'm just using a bit of a broader pressure to get all of the forearm extensors. As I go, I find spots that need extra attention and I repeat over those. Now I'm giving some attention to the distal end of the forearm and moving again back up proximally. And then turning the forearm over, giving some attention at the distal end. And once again, doing a bit of a myofascial release here, more myo than fascial in this case because I am using lotion. But as you can see, I'm supinating the forearm as I strip up towards the medial epicondyle. And I find this helps relax the client's hand a little bit more. They tend to get tense. Movement like this tends to be really relaxing and helps the muscles ease the tension a little bit faster. Remember to get all the way up and down the forearm, covering all of the areas that you're working. Again, doing a bit of supination as I strip through, alternating just regular strips through and supination. And here now I'm getting into the hand, gently tractioning each of the fingers, spreading open the palmar fascia, getting into the muscles, the intrinsic muscles of the hand, not forgetting the opposite side, the posterior side of the hand, and definitely into the webbing of the thumb. These muscles are thick and often really tender. Lots of trigger points to be found there. It feels like your hand is exploding when you get into these sometimes. You can really take your time with these. I'm kind of just stripping through briefly. I'm just finishing the massage with this. I had about 10 extra minutes at the end, and so I'm using about 5 per arm. While I'm stripping through the palmar fascia, I like to really open up the hand by tucking my pinky fingers in between the 4th and 5th fingers and the 1st and 2nd, and just kneading in there with my thumbs. It feels amazing and it stretches things out even more. And then back to tractioning the thumb. You can use your thumb and forefinger, or you can go between the 1st and 2nd finger to do that, or you can do a bit of both. And here I'm just stripping through the hand intrinsics along the side of the 1st digit. I like to do a number of techniques over again, not just in a row 3 times through, let's say, but I'll do a few techniques once and then come back and do all 3 again.